أهلا بكم في قناتي SAT Math 800. Today's lesson is about scatterplot graph. What is scatterplot? Scatterplot is a graph that uses dots to show the relation between two different variables. Here is the x-axis, here is the y-axis, and these dots represent the relation between the variable in x-axis and y-axis. Each point represents one item, data pair. When we look at how the dots are arranged, we can tell if the two variables are related or not. The x-axis shows the independent variable and the y-axis shows the dependent variable. These are the types of correlations. This is positive correlation. As x increases, y increases. Example, the more hours you study, the higher score you get. Negative correlation. As x increases, y decreases. This is decreasing value. Example, the more time you spend on social media, the lower your GPA is. In some cases, of course. There is no relation, no clear pattern between the variables, like these dots or points. Example, student size with his GPA. We have the line of best fit or trend line. We draw after we represent the data as a point, we intend draw a straight line. We draw a straight line that goes through near the greatest number. It don't pass through all the dots, no, near the greatest number of points. This line shows the overall direction of data. Here it represents increasing, here it represents decreasing, either going up, positive, or down, negative. We can use it to predict values not in the data, understanding the trend. What is the equation of this straight line? Equation of this straight line, we use usually the slope-intercept form, y equal mx plus b, where m is the slope, the rate of change, and b is the y-intercept or starting value. Here is an example. You record how many hours student studied and their math test score. So there is a data between hours and test, the score of test. I will represent this data in the graph 1 and 60, 2 and 65, 3 and 70, and so on. So I represent the data. Question are, what kind of correlation is shown? Of course, in this example, it's shown, it is obvious. But in some examples, we have to draw the line of trend. What kind of correlation? Positive correlation. As hours of study increases, test score increases. Second question, estimate the equation of the line of best fit. Of course, we have here a lot of points. We can use 2 points lies on the straight line and use it to get the slope. We take the 2 point, 1 and 60 and 585. The slope is the difference between y's over the difference of lx's. So we get the slope equals 6.25. The equation is y. This is the way y minus y1 equals slope x minus x1. And we use this point to make the equation. Y minus 60 equals slope x minus 1. So the equation is y equals 6.25x plus 53.75. Now, the third question, predict the score if student studied 6 hours. We will see in the graph, we don't have this kind of data. So we will use our straight line to predict with this data. To predict the score of students studied 6 hours, we will substitute of x 6 and get the answer. It's 91.25. It's approximately 91. In this example, you observe the number of absence and final grade of 5 students. This is the data. 0.95, the absence, and the final score of students. We represent it 0 and 95, 2 and 90, and so on. The questions: what type of correlation is this? We will draw the line of trend. The correlation is negative. The more absence equal or related with lower grade. Second, estimate the line of best fit. We will take any 2 points lies on this straight line and get the slope. We will use the point 0 and 95 and 68. The slope is the difference between the y's over difference in x's. So the slope, it must be negative because the straight line is decreasing. Here is the equation of straight line. Y minus 95 equal the negative slope x minus 0. We get the equation y equal negative 3.375x plus 95. The third question: predict the grade of a student with 5 absence. We will search for it. We can't get, but we can get predict. For 5 absence, we will substitute in the equation we get. So we predict the grade equal approximately 78%. The third example: you compare the shoe size and set score of 5 students. This is the shoe size is 38, 42, 40, 39, and this is the score. The question: what kind of correlation is shown? No correlation. There is no clear pattern between the shoe size and the set score. Can you use a trend line to predict set score from shoes size? Of course, we can't make a line of trend. What does this tell us? This tells us that shoes size doesn't affect set performance. This is what about our lesson today. Hope you enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.